the peace you are working out in Ukraine.
They were just so heartless, like they treated us like animals.
Some of the people from Nigeria, particularly black folks.
The official literally looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk.
Man, these people left without taking the blacks, man. None of the blacks, man. See, none.
We spoke with a woman from Cameroon, for example. She said, we fled Cameroon because there was trouble there. We came here, we were able to go to school, we were able to work in Ukraine. And then this happened. And when it came to trying to leave, she says they were treated very differently. They were pushed off the train, they were shoved, they were treated very poorly. They were left in a train station along with many others for 2 days on a train that usually takes 2 hours.
The problem isn't at the Polish border, it is at the Ukrainian border. Because you have to step out at the Ukrainian border to get on the Polish side. And the Ukrainians are only prioritizing their citizens. They don't care, they will push you, they will beat you. If you can make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. I was fighting for my life. It is a traumatizing experience.
How do you justify this? How? It is simply unjustifiable, and yet simultaneously not surprising at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
You know who that is? His name is David Sakvarlidze. And he serves as Ukraine's deputy chief prosecutor, telling us how he really feels on the BBC.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
And this guy, his name is Charlie Diagata, a senior foreign correspondent for CBS News. He gave an apology, but did he really have to? The damage was done. The Arab and Middle Eastern Journalists Association released a statement in response to coverage of the Ukraine crisis, citing Charlie's remarks as one of several examples of racist news coverage that ascribes more importance to some victims of war over others. Now, just when you thought news organizations were done showing their racism, well...
To put it bluntly, these are not refugees from Syria. These are refugees from neighboring Ukraine. I mean, that, quite frankly, is part of it. These are Christians, they're white, they're very similar to people.
And this person, that would be NBC News correspondent Halle Kobiela. These are the folks who are supposed to deliver the news straight, no chase. The Independent's Nadine White wrote, on Friday, Sky News broadcast a clip of people making Molotov cocktails, effectively bombs, explaining in intricate detail how to make these devices as effective as possible. Can you imagine if these were Syrians or Palestinians? They'd quickly be branded as terrorists. To show this consent of a double standard, there were these scenes that went viral of what appears to be a Ukrainian girl standing up to a Russian trooper, right? Well, no. Her name is Ahed Tamimi. She is from Palestine. However, because many who saw this thought she was white passing, those who would not normally support black and brown communities shared it far and wide. Meanwhile, according to the Middle East Monitor, in Israel, the IDF sprays skunk water at Palestinians as they flee from it. You won't hear a peep from Western media on this. Did you know on February 24th, the same day Vladimir Putin sent missiles to Ukraine, the US bombed Somalia? Probably not. Philadelphia Inquirer columnist Abraham Gutman also compared the invasion of Ukraine to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories. The entire West should do a lot of reflecting on the not-so-subtle message the past few days sent to Palestinians, said Gutman. We are perfectly capable of collective outrage, action, and recognition of international law, but with you, we just don't care. Matt Duss, a foreign policy advisor to Bernie Sanders, wrote, "As a Ukrainian American, I am immensely proud of the bravery of Ukrainians and of the support being shown by Americans. As a Middle East analyst, I am floored by the blatant double standard on resisting occupation and repression."